So online, you'll find a lot of resources that will say electrical engineering is one of the hardest degrees to complete. Not only because there's a lot of hard math problems here and there, but my name is Jodabeni and I'm an electrical engineer. And I want to give my perspective on why electrical engineering is considered one of the hardest degrees out there. As of right now, I've been working as an electrical engineer for some time now, and I still get a lot of comments in my comment section, people asking, hey, is it worth it? And or, hey, I want to do it, but there's a lot of math questions and comments. So electrical engineering isn't that hard. It's all about perspective. And I'm gonna try to break it down to you so that you can get a better understanding, and maybe if you decide you wanna do electrical engineering, you can move forward with it. All right, so today I'm taking you guys to the charging station. If you didn't see my first video on this Model Y for Tesla, go check out, it's my very last upload that I did. So check it out, you can have your own opinions on it. So my background is, obviously, I already told you guys I'm an electrical engineer, but before I even got to my university, what I really used to do a lot was I used to make forms, and forms was where you could use some coding. At the time, I wasn't, involved into coding that in depth. The only thing I really messed around with was HTML. And HTML, the reason why I enjoyed it was whenever I would type anything in, I can just refresh the page and see the results immediately. And as time went on, I started getting more interested into software engineering, it came to a point where I'd put a lot of coding in and I wouldn't see a visual result immediately. If anything, I'd see more errors than a positive result. And over time, I started losing interest in anything involved in coding. And as my interest fell, coding just became much harder. So even in my electrical engineering degree, the courses that I took that involved heavy coding, I definitely struggled the most with it. So pretty much as time went on, I started losing interest in coding. A part of it could be because I wasn't too knowledgeable in a bunch of Python or even C or C++. I heard other people in the field did those things. And as a teenager, whenever you're looking at C++ and you don't have any direction, a lot of that looks extremely hard. So fast forward, I'm in my engineering degree, right? And all the courses that had coding at the time, they were the hardest thing for me. Was it because I was just mad at anything related to IT? No, because all my other EE courses, I enjoy them. But the problem came was because I lacked interest in a lot of the things that required coding, the end result was that I ended up having a hard time with coding classes. Just because I wasn't interested in it, made it much harder for me to excel in it as I did in my EE courses. This is the direction I'm taking it, because a lot of the reviews that you'll see online, a lot of people will write articles saying why electrical engineering is the hardest. Like, don't get me wrong, it was hard, right? All the courses I had to take, you have to take all the way to Cal 3, you take differential equations, you take electrical, you take math for EE, all those things that create this kind of hardship barrier. And not only that, even after you finish your degree, most companies want you to have the degree before you can work for them. So all of these things make it harder, but there's always people who can still get a job without having the degree, whether you're an electrical engineer or a software engineer. It's still possible. And if you made it this far in this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section on whether you believe electrical engineering is the hardest degree, or is there another degree out there do you think it is that makes electrical engineering not as hard? So let me know in the comment section below which engineering degree you think is the hardest. So electrical engineering is part of applied physics, right? So when you look at physics overall, you have your mechanical side and then your electrical magnetic side. If you're a part of the EM side, you're gonna be more towards electrical engineering. And if you're part of the more towards the mechanical side, you can be a mechanical engineer, aerospace engineer, civil engineer. All those things branch out of physics, right? So the biggest thing is figuring out what interests you the most, because no matter how hard a degree is or how easy a degree is, if it's something you don't care about or something you are not a fan of, it's definitely going to be hard. I'm really good at electrical engineering, but you put me in a makeup class or whatever, some makeup degree, I'm telling you, I'm going to have the hardest time, because I'm going to feel like I'm wasting my life away being in that class. So I'm not even going to care to look at the homeworks or things like that, because it just means nothing to me. So before you think electrical engineering is hard, or if you read an article that says, hey, it is one of the hardest degrees, think to yourself, the people who wrote that, are they electrical engineers themselves? Is it something that was of interest to them? Or are they going based off of the majority of people who just attempt it and obviously they're not a fan of it and then they just give up? Because if you run into most electrical engineers who are already working in the field, they love what they do. And to complete the degree, you gotta have a certain amount of love, because if you don't love what you're doing in this field, you're definitely gonna quit. You're either gonna switch over to computer science or to another engineering major that you can coast through. Bottom line, electrical engineering isn't for everybody, but it can be for those who have an interest into it. And a lot of people lose focus whenever they're in school and they're just looking at what's in front of them, such as the math classes or the little things in front of them. What you want to do while you're in school or whenever you're developing your electrical engineering skills is you want to sit back and find things in the real world that electrical engineering is, used onto, and try to understand it from that point of view so you can give yourself a purpose in your educational studies. So this is the most important part of this video. Whether you're interested in being an electrical engineer or any other engineering discipline, I will show you how to find what engineering discipline is made for you. There's a bunch of different engineering disciplines that you can do. You can do EE, computer science, electronics, civil, manufacturing, and so on, right? So now you're gonna ask yourself, how do I know which one is made for me? Which one, all right? So for an example, you could take a look at, let's say you're looking at an F-35 flying around, right? And you look at it and you get a blueprint or whatever, and you're trying to understand or see what in the plane interests you. Whenever you're looking at a video of an F-35 flying, are you looking at the aerodynamics, how the wind is blowing off of it? Are you looking at how the mechanics of the engine, how the computer is being able to move everything in sync? Which part of that machine brings the most interest into you? And then from there, you keep breaking it into smaller and smaller parts. Let's say you're like, hey, I love how I'm able to control everything at once. So it has to do something with the electrical portion and the CPUs and things like that. So you keep branching it down until you pinpoint what really interests you. And once you figure that out, you might still be on the fence of picking which one you want to finalize as your pick. So what I would recommend you do, you go to, number one, go to MIT OpenCourseWare. You're gonna be able to attend any of the introductory engineering courses on there for free. They have lectures and videos from some of the best professors in the United States, and you get to sit down in an introductory class and see if this is something you're really interested in. Instead of paying thousands of dollars and going into the actual degree, you can actually look immediately, maybe a few introductory classes that are part of the OpenCourseWare or even on YouTube, and then get a perspective. If you look at it and you're like, oh, you know what, all this EE stuff is uninteresting, I'm not a fan, hey, by all means, you should be thanking God that you found out already so that you can move on to whatever you are interested in. Because no matter how hard a degree is, if it's something that generally interests you, you're gonna have a much more enjoyable time completing your degree. Whenever they give you that final project assignment and it has to meet certain electrical engineering criteria, and you're over here, you don't even like electrical engineering, how do you think that's gonna be? How do you think life is going to be whenever you're getting all these homework assignments for things that you think are pointless? So the correct question people should be asking, instead of saying which engineering is the hardest or which one is the easiest, is which engineering subject do I find the most interest in? Whichever one you find the most interest in is the one you're going to enjoy the most. Me and my little brother both went into electrical engineering. Halfway through, he decided, hey, I like computer science more than I like electrical engineering. He switched over and expedited his graduation process. Unfortunately, I stayed with electrical engineering. It is fortunately, but unfortunately, it took me longer because the classes were more in-depth and intuitive, and I had to sit down and actually understand a lot of the materials. But at the end of the day, I still graduated, but I enjoy every single second of it. When my brother is showing me a lot of his back-end coding works, some of it looks cool, and some of it I'm just like, I would hate to be doing this for 24/7 as a job, but he loves it. And whenever it comes to working with hardware, I love putting it together. I love working on PCBs. I love getting a PCB printed and finally handling it in real life. Things like that bring enjoyment to my soul. So in your own opinion, for those who have completed the electrical engineering degree or those who are in school right now, what is your thoughts? Do you think electrical engineering is as hard as people make it, or are people just being lazy? Because I think it's just based off of interest. The more you're interested into something, the easier it will be. That's why there's people who will go to school for 14 years, 15 years, become doctors, and they're happy with their life. They enjoy every second of their undergraduate degree. They enjoy their residency. Every part of that cycle, they love it because they generally love things in the medical field, or whether it be or that specific area as a doctor. So thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Jodabeni is out.